before we raise havoc on America's economy and impacts for the world's economy. What I want to talk about is common sense. Common sense in terms of how we move forward with regards to our fiscal needs. Since 1960, the Congress has raised the debt limit 78 times. 78 times since 1960. It is the Congress's responsibility to do this. 49 times under Republican presidents, 29 times under Democratic presidents. There is a degree of hypocrisy that has filtered through this House in recent months regarding the debt ceiling. With the last administration, the Trump administration, we voted to increase the debt 3 times to lift the debt ceiling under the Trump administration, while at the same time, the debt was being increased by 25%. 25%. I even remember the President Trump saying that he was the king of debt. I guess he is, or was. The fact is if that hadn't been increased by 25%, we wouldn't be here today with the dilemma of how we should raise the debt ceiling. We should raise it the way we have previously, cleanly in a bipartisan fashion. That's what we have done historically. As Sergeant Friday used to say, just the facts, ma'am, because the debt ceiling has no impact on our spending, which is a reasonable issue to debate on how we spend America's tax dollars. And that is what the Congress ought to do. But the debt ceiling simply commits us to paying the bills that we have already incurred. To pay the bills we've already incurred. That's what this is about. And that's why, since 1960, Congress, under Republican and Democratic administrations, has raised the debt ceiling 78 times. 49 times under Republican presidents, 29 times under Democratic presidents. Yesterday's announcement by Secretary Treasurer Yellen makes it clear there is no time to waste. There is no time to waste. June 1st is looming closely. And the havoc that would occur if we don't lift the debt ceiling is significant. It is significant. We can and should avoid this economic catastrophe. I have voted to raise the debt ceiling in 19 years that I've been here 16 times, 3 times under the Trump administration.
Friends, this is bad news for all Americans that either receive Social Security, SNAP, or Medicare benefits. Many economists are now preparing for Congress to miss the June 1st deadline of reaching a debt default deal. This will have a drastic effect on monthly benefits. Experts are also warning about a possible government shutdown if action is not taken quickly. My friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for all of the details. Also, in 2 days, I will be announcing more winners for the $75 Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. A new analysis illustrates which federal programs may be the first to go unpaid if Congress fails to raise a debt ceiling in a matter of days. Last week, the Bipartisan Policy Center published an analysis of the federal programs that would be at risk in the first days and months following a default on our nation's debt. The United States has never defaulted on its debt, so no one can say with certainty what will happen if the government can no longer afford its spending obligations. In the first 10 days of June, the government could be unable to afford veterans' benefits, Medicaid, tax refunds, military retirement, federal salaries, SNAP benefits, and Social Security. If the U.S. government does miss a payment, experts say the fallout could be very messy. A prolonged period of default could lead to spiking interest rates, a stock market crash, and a federal government shutdown. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has not yet indicated how the Treasury would plan to prioritize certain payments should the U.S. default, but she told NBC News on Sunday, "We expect to be unable to pay all of our bills in early June, and possibly as soon as June 1st. The Bipartisan Policy Center said in its analysis that fulfilling all payments for popular programs such as Medicare and Social Security would quickly become impossible, and that prioritizing certain payments would be operationally difficult. So progress is critical. Meanwhile, pressure for Biden to pursue alternate paths that could avoid a default, such as invoking a clause in the 14th Amendment to declare the debt ceiling unconstitutional, will likely build. Today, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the debt ceiling standoff was not his fault, as he sent Republican negotiators to the White House to finish out talks. McCarthy has warned reporters that the two sides need more time to reach a deal. Speaker McCarthy said he remained optimistic they could reach an agreement before a deadline as soon as next week. Financial markets are teetering as Washington, D.C. edges closer to a debt default crisis that would be unprecedented in modern times, sending great shockwaves around the globe. The White House blamed the Republicans, led by Speaker McCarthy, for risking a devastating default that would hit every single part of the United States. Debt ceiling negotiations are locked on a classic problem that has divided and disrupted Washington before. Republicans want to roll back federal government spending, while Biden and other Democrats do not. The last time the United States reached a debt ceiling was in 2011. The economy took months to recover. The U.S. Treasury found that waiting to raise a debt limit affected the economy, including the stock market and retirement savings. From the White House, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre decried what the administration called a manufactured crisis that is set in motion by Republicans pushing extreme proposals that would hurt every state. Time is short to strike a deal. The White House insisted early on that it was unwilling to barter over the need to pay the nation's bills, demanding that Congress simply lift the ceiling. Negotiations are focused on finding an agreement on a 2024 budget year limit. Republicans have set aside their demand to roll back spending to 2022 levels, but say that next year's government spending must be less than it is now. So by sparing defense and some veterans' accounts from reductions, the Republicans would shift the bulk of spending reductions to other federal programs. Agreement on that top-line spending level is vital. It would enable Kevin McCarthy to deliver spending restraints for conservatives, while not being so severe that it would chase off the Democratic votes that would be needed in the divided Congress to pass any bill. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts about what's going on in Washington, D.C.? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Well, my magnificent and most beautiful friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Wednesday. My dearest friends, thank you so very, very much for being here and for being part of this community. This coming Friday, I will be announcing more winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, dear friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.